What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy, Mr. Micro Mike, and today I just want to talk about the Detroit Lions off-season moves, free agents, what's going on, Chris Cashbaugh, NFL draft, and what we can do for this team to get better in the offseason. I think it's imperative to go ahead and start talking about the offseason now. And I decided to go through the salary cap. Man, I was kind of shocked to see what I was seeing. I think we're going to have a lot of salary cap come when it's time to pick up free agents and make some moves in the offseason, because I think we're going to cut a few people. So what's going on, Chris? What's going on? Just waiting for everyone to jump in. I just want to talk some Lions free agent, Lions NFL draft, because last night the roundtable was canceled due to family emergency with Luke G. And so why the hell not do something right now? And I apologize. We apologize for that for sure. Sup, 50 million. Yeah, wait till I tell you how much we could potentially have. What's going on, Ed Whiting? We should trade Slay here. Well, so let's just go ahead and get to the salary cap stuff right now. What is going on? Sorry, clicking through here. Okay, so let me get back to the salary cap. Check this out, fellas. Check this out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, everything is fine when it comes to Luke G and his family. For Odell, hope all's good. Yeah, everything's good with him. It was just I think he's going to come on tonight and talk about it a little bit. I know he wants to get on too as well later. So because he felt bad that he had to cancel it. But let's look at this right now. We have approximately 50 million in cap space right now, and that's fairly good. When we look at the contracts, Darius Slay now is a cap hit of 13.4 million this season, so 13.4, so that would put us at 63, and a dead cap hit of 2,900,000. What's going on, Boog Spray? Yep, everything's fine. Troxel, what's going on, fellas? Yep, prayers, he's good. So we have to assume that he's going to be on this team. It just seems extremely unlikely, just looking at the cap situation. Again, 13.4 million is his cap hit, but only dead money of 2,900,000. That's not much at all. And I can see him moving him, as well as Rick Wagner. He has a cap hit of 11,900,000, but a cap hit of 5,800,000. And Snacks Harrison has a cap hit of 11.75 million. So, folks, that's quite a bit. That is quite a bit. And I think they may move on from Darius Slay. What's going on, fellas? What's going on, Ed Whiting? I think they're going to move on from Darius Slay, and that will remove some cap, as well as I could see potentially Rick Wagner with his cap, even though his cap hit is actually about one half worth the cap. So that's something to pay attention to. Draft Isaiah Simmons, y'all tripping. No Rex Ryan for defensive coordinator. Whoever the defensive coordinator is going to be, just get yourself a defensive guru to come in here and help that defense out. No matter what. In my opinion, they're not gonna get rid of Matt Patricia. So just get the best guy in there for sure, and upgrade some talent on this team. Let's pick up some more talent in free agency. Now, you got Chris Jones, the defensive end, 3-4 out of Kansas City. He's 27 years old. He's an individual they can look at, because they're going to have the cap space for sure to bring in some talent in here. And, this all predicated to the fact if teams going to keep their players. We don't know what's going to take place. So this is all, these teams could keep them. You got a 4-3 defensive end from Jacksonville. That's Ngoku as well. He's 25, so the age is good. They're not getting rid of Matty P. I think that's pretty much guaranteed at this point. I'm wondering if the Lions going to promote defensive coordinator within. I think they'll look for a guru. I think they got to. Derek Brown at Monster. I'm with you, Flight 000. I think that's who we target in the NFL draft is Derek Brown, and we have quite a bit of options to go through when we look at the defensive talent in this draft. But I want to focus right now on free agency, so you can go that route. I think Chris Harris from the Denver Broncos is a corner that we're going to target specifically this offseason because we tried to trade for him. So obviously they have an interest with him as well. They can go different routes at defensive tackle. They can go a little bit older at Gerald McCoy, for Carolina, for sure. You aren't cold, bud. You aren't cold, bud. No, I just got out of the gym, man. I'm actually quite warm. I just got out of the gym, so fresh out the gym and jumping in here. But Gerald McCoy is quite older, so if they want to do a 1-year gap, they could do a Gerald McCoy. You got Dante Fowler as well. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker. So there's quite a bit of talent. You got Bud Dupree, Shaq Barrett, Dante Fowler, Armstead, Chris Harris, cornerback. Quite a bit of talent out there. Leonard Williams, he's 27. How old is Harris? Now, I believe Harris is 31 years old. Yep, he's 31 years old. How about a quarterback? Stafford's future is cloudy. You know, Coyote 5.0, that brings up a great point. When we talk about the quarterback position, are they going to draft one early in this draft? They could do that route. I think if it's this regime, though, I think they're just going to go the best defensive player. I think if you had a new regime, that's something that you'd look to. Chris Jones, Shaq Barrett, and Matt Judson. Drew Mike probably pays his gas bill. That's very well could be. Yeah, man, look, I want defensive talent, and you're noticing that's the way I'm going for. But there's a lot of defensive talent in free agency, so we can really upgrade this team in that sense. And, of course, you got Kyle Van Noy, even though he was part of the Lions earlier in his earlier years, but he always likes Matt Patricia. So that would be interesting. And if they want – hey, what's going on, Dos Dion? If they wanted to upgrade the running back position, I know Tennessee, I like Derrick Henry. He's a big brawler as well. I think if they wanted to go that route, they could. I don't necessarily know if they really need to focus a whole lot on the running back position of free agency. I really like what I see from Bo Scarborough. I think having him and Kerryon together is a good 1-2 punch. I wouldn't rule out Tua in the later rounds. Yeah, I think Troxel makes a really good point there. Is say if the Lions decide to not pull the plug, not to pull the plug on Matt Stafford, they get Tua in the later rounds if he fell that way. What's going on, Abdul Terrell? I think that would be a smart move if you can get him in the second rounds or whatever. Yeah, I know one probably. Yeah, I know. But it's just something to look at. You always want to look at I am still at work, but listening. What's going on, Luke G, man? Tell the folks if you're going to go live tonight so they can get ready for it. Yeah, so I don't think he would either just because of the history. But you always got to look at former Patriot players. For sure. You got guard from Joe Thuney from New England as well. He's 27. So when I look at free agents, I usually look at age and kind of what they're wanting to do. I prefer younger guys, but you can always, if you could get an older guy that has maybe a year or two left, and get him to a year contract that can benefit the team in what you can't pick up in the NFL draft, I think that's a good way to go. Doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is going to be. Patricia has a defensive system that he wants run. Yeah, he does. But I mean, look, in my opinion, you just got to pick up the best guy available. That will somewhat match what he's wanting to run. What do you think about drafting Kenny Willekes? Think about Kenny Willekes. I haven't done a whole lot. On specific players. I've just really focused a lot on the first round of this draft, and I'm focusing on just a handful of players because I just think that's where they're going to go. I think Derek Brown is one that you got to pay attention to in the NFL draft. I think AJ is another individual you got to pay attention to. I'm focusing specifically on defensive ends and defensive tackles for sure. That's what I think they're going to do. I mean, they can definitely go and take the cornerback from Ohio and go to Jeff Okudah. I think if they want to do that as well and pair him up with Amani Oruwariye and Coleman, and if they want to re-sign Melvin, I think that would be a real good duo if they decide to trade Darius Slay. They could do that, but I want pass rush. I don't know about you guys, but I did a poll and I seen 60% of the people that did my poll, they wanted pass rush and individuals to rush the passer. And I'm the same way, man. I want that defensive line. I would like Brown for sure. Derek Brown is the guy who I think really, realistically, we have a shot to get is Derek Brown. I don't think we have a real a shot at Chase. I mean, if we decide to suck more and somehow move up in the draft, I think that could occur. But in my opinion, I think Derek Brown's the more realistic position for sure. Second round, are you serious? The Hurts quarterback from Alabama in the second round, are you serious? Well, they're saying that he may play. If he was to come back, it'd be the end of next year. It just depends what they want, man. If they feel that Matthew Stafford is good to go and they don't need a quarterback, that they won't draft one. But you got to look at his spine. We don't know what's going to take place, man. We have no idea what his back is. We just got to wait for what the health, the medical doctors say about that. And same when it comes to Tua. We don't know exactly. I mean, yeah, he's all over the board when it comes to the draft. People have him getting drafted in the top 10. I don't think he's going to get drafted in the top 10 just because of his hip injury. But man, we don't really know. We got to wait. When it comes to college players and their injuries, I think waiting specifically for their their assessment at the NFL Combine, their health assessment is very important for sure. I think that's the best way to go. I think Okodu and a new version of Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, man, it's a crapshoot in this draft. It's definitely a crapshoot. I just prefer the defensive tackle, defensive end. I really like the big guy, man, Derek Brown. I think you put him in the middle, we're going to be able to stop the run and get after the quarterback a little bit. He'll get double teamed. They'll free up Trey Flowers. I think we can pick up a nice defensive end and free agency and pair that bad boy up. I think that's the best way to go. I think we get an offensive lineman as well in this draft. I think if they decide to go offensive line in the second or third rounds, I think you can get a good guard there for sure. And that would really help out. If we draft Shea, I quit being a Lions fan. What up, Bill Micro Mike? What's going on, TA? You think Michael Jackson will be here for the future? No, not necessarily. Not really. I mean, it's going to come down to cuts and what's going to take place in the offseason. Is Mike Ford going to be here compared to Michael Jackson? Probably. I would take Jackson over Ford just because he may have more potential. But we don't know how intense they're going to go in free agency. We don't know. It's hard to tell, man. Come on, Travis, 7th round. Draft Okodu and sign Gerald McCoy. Yeah, hey, that's a great route they could go. If they want to go Gerald McCoy in there and draft the cornerback, I mean, you could do that for sure. You definitely could do that. I just prefer the defensive. I want a pass rush. I feel like even if you have an elite secondary, it's really going to hurt if the quarterback is just sitting there forever. Get a great secondary in there. Get in there. A fantastic defensive end, defensive tackle, and get some pass rush. And that's the way I want to go, man. That's the way. I mean, and there is plenty. If they decide to go the defensive end route and go, if they want to go Okodu in the first, there's a lot of talent. When it comes to the edge rushers, I mean, you got Curtis Weaver, you got Julian Akwara, you got Bashman, Wake Forest. Interior, again, you got Derek Brown, my guy, Javon Kinlaw, Marvin Wilson. You got to think too. You got to think too as well. We're going to have a really high second round pick. So what's good about sucking in this draft is not just the first round, but you're going to have a high second round pick. It's basically going to be a low grade first round pick. So you're going to get 2 really good quality players, possibly 3 starters in this draft if they draft right. I mean, like, if you look at, we got Tavai this year, and he's been playing for us the whole time. Unfortunately, TJ Hawkinson he played for us, but not utilized a whole lot. But in this draft, we're going to get 3 good players in this draft. That's probably could start immediately. So Our starting running back on the roster right now. Look, man, Kool-Aid and Cornbread. I really like Bo Scarborough. I think he's got that punch you in the mouth mentality, that blue collar type of running back that you want, the power runner. I like that. I like that power. That's my prefer when it comes to running styles, is not the absolute fastest guy in the world, but the guy that will knock it, get through the defensive line and take on the linebacker. That's my preferred style of running. That's what I've always liked. Sign Matt Judson, Chris Jones, trade Slay and OBJ, and sign. I see a lot of people wanting to sign or trade for Odell Beckham Jr. That would be interesting. What do you guys think about trading for Odell Beckham Jr.? Let me look at our cap hit when it comes to Marvin Jones. Now, wow. So our cap hit for Marvin Jones, just for out of curiosity, is $9,183,000, and a cap hit, a dead hit of $2.6 million. So actually, not too bad. So I say no. I'm with you, Carl Campbell. I'm saying no there, just because Marvin Jones' cap hit's not bad. And I think if we were really in the playoff hunt right now, I don't think Marvin Jones would have been placed on IR. So yeah, I'm with you. No, I do want O-line and D-line. That's what I want, is offensive line and defensive line. I want a power strong team in the trenches. That's how you win. If Matt Patricia is going to be the coach, surround him with the most talent that you can possibly get, not just with coaching, but with players as well. Put this team in the best position to win immediately. Let's not play around the bush this offseason. They need to go extremely hard, not pick up injured or riddled players, but players that are going to be game changers. That first pick we get, possibly 5th overall, needs to be a game-changing defensive player, in my opinion. It has to be. Let's not screw around and get soft here. If you want to win now. Get a game changer. Get Derek Brown in there, and that will help the whole defense. Let's see. First things first, we need to move on from Quinn and Patricia. No confidence in the building of this franchise. Look, I understand that thinking, and I'm with you there. I think we should, but guess what? The reality is they're not going to. And at this point, I don't see that they're going to. I think they're going to give them one more year. And if they're going to give these guys a year, then surround these people with the absolute most talent you can. Get a defensive coordinator that is going to do what Darrell Bevell did with KFC, completely changed the narrative. And Bob Quinn, get in there and get talent on this roster. Have a great draft and get free agents to fit what you're going to do on this team and get after the passer. That's what we got to do. We need bullies on the lines. Yes, 100%. 100%. That is what we got to do. And like, I'm looking at the cap hit. You got, when it comes to our defensive players, you got Trey Flowers, he's starting to do better. He's only got a cap hit of $13.4 million next year. It's not bad. And I think he's averaging the last 6 games, 6 sacks a game. So I think he was a good signing. And I think my cell phone's going off here. Got to turn it off. I think that if we get another defensive end, whether it be the draft or free agency, it'll open him up a little bit better and help that line. And let's get another bully in the middle and eviscerate the trenches. Get after the damn quarterback. Let's make KFC the DC points were at the premium when we had him. That's a good one. We just need to stay healthy first and foremost. Health, look, we're not going to stay healthy. The NFL, you got to understand, is very important to understand that we are going to be injured, and it's going to happen. So we need to have depth on this team. I feel like we got really good depth on this team. I think we do. Like Tavon Wilson, in my opinion, is a very good depth player. If you have an injured safety, I think Tavon Wilson does a fine job filling in a game or two. But the issue is now we traded Quandre Diggs, and now he got thrusted into that starting role, and that hurts us. So, like, that trade with Quandre Diggs extremely hurted us. And now you're putting in a position where he's not succeeding. Tavon Wilson, in my opinion, is a great backup. I love him as a backup. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But now you put him in a position to fail because he is now thrusted into a position that he shouldn't be. So that's type of shit that screwed us up. That Quandre Diggs trade, it was really bad. Not only is he doing well at Seattle Seahawks, but you got to have talent back there, and it was a talent downgrade. And we got to get the trenches in there and get bullies. So when it comes to injuries, yes, there's going to be injuries, and it is what it is. I mean, you just got to have good depth in there to negate these injuries. So, like when it comes to the quarterback position, Jeff Driscoll, he was a really good backup. I feel for Matthew Stafford. Given the circumstances, he was a damn good backup. And given the circumstances, Blau is a decent backup to Driscoll as well. And even though he had a bad game last week, this guy's a backup. I mean, you're not going to expect to get a Tannehill where he came in for Marcus Mariota. You're not going to have that every time. And same with the running games. We had injuries, and guess what? Bo Scarborough came in, did a good job. So that's the importance of depth. You just got to simply shut the F up with the Diggs trade. No, man. Diggs was a great player for us. And it was a bad trade for a 5th round pick. Come on now. If we did not trade him, guess what? Then Tavon Wilson wouldn't be thrusted into a bad position. And I think if he was here, we would have won at least another game for sure. Yes, he is still a decent player. Yes, he is. He is a decent player. And if you're going to trade him, I feel like the compensation was just not good enough. But look, it is what it is. It is what it is. So what we need to do in this offseason, or what Bob Quinn needs to do in this offseason, is he has got to go into this offseason with the mindset of winning time now. Okay, get your players that you want. Get all your players that you want. You want the Patriot Way type players. You want individuals that's going to feed off Matt Patricia. Okay, you got this offseason to do it. Get every single player that you feel is going to fit the system and fight for you. I am not gonna hold back. If you overpay for a player, screw it. I don't give a shit at this point. I just want to win. And that's fine. We're going to have to overpay because who's going to want to come to a 3-win team? You're going to have to overpay a little bit. So if you feel that you got to get some of those players in here, then do it. Get game changers. I don't give a shit at this point. Make a trade. Make a trade. Get some damn game players. Put as much help around Matt Patricia and around this team as humanly possible. Okay, let's do it. Just go in there. And what's going on, Argo? Yeah, Chiefs, man. Good luck in your team, man. Your team's doing fairly well. Yeah, no more. We don't have our guys. Spend money, and let's see what Patricia does. Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm a Lions fan. We all may agree on things. We may disagree on things. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, every one of us just wants to win, man. Just period. Just win a damn game. And so do it. Do you think Bob Quinn go all out and spend and try to save his job? Oh, yeah. And we got money to spend, Abdul Terrell. So let me go over this cap if you weren't here. We got nearly $50 million in cap space right now, just off the rip, if we keep the same players. But when I look at this caps hit, look, $13.4 million for Darius Slay. It's only $2.9 million cap hit if we released or trade. That's a tradable player right there. His cap is good to trade, and his cap hit is very nice for another team. That will add another $13.4 million to our cap, so that puts us at $64 million. Rick Wagner, who I've been saying for a year now, could be let go as well because he has a nearly $12 million cap hit. But his cap hit is nearly $12 million. Dead cap is 5.8. His dead cap's a little bit high. Now, if they decide to say Taylor Decker, he does not have a cap hit, but his cap, or sorry, he does not have dead cap. His cap hit is 10,350,000 or 10 and 350,000. So we have players on here that we're going to get rid of that have high cap hits, and we're going to be able to really get really upgrade this roster this offseason. Absolutely. We need to get a corner. Yeah. And look, I think that there is a lot of good corners in free agency. There really is. Now, you can go young, you can go older. I think they're going to go, in my opinion, I think they're going to go Chris Harris because he's a little bit older. We tried to trade for him. He's 31. I think the cap will be less. And the reason I say Chris Harris is Amani Oruwariye is young, and he's really starting to flourish with the amount of time he has. And it's good to see him play this way, but you don't want to depend on that. So if you get a veteran in there, a mix with Oruwariye as well as Coleman, and if they decide to sign Rashaan Melvin back, they could do that. And I think that would be a good secondary. Mobile quarterbacks are the evolving NFL. They are. As long as you can get a quarterback that can also throw as well. Now, if you're just simply a quarterback that can run, But if you get one like we're seeing, man, with the Baltimore Ravens, that guy is a great. Patrick Mahomes is great. They're doing a great job. Amani has looked pretty good these past few games, yes. And with all the faults that we have seen with Matt Patricia, and I can name a lot, the one thing him and Bob Quinn has done right is extremely done a very smart job is how they implemented Amani Oruwariye and how they slowly placed him in this defense. They did not throw him in there to ruin his confidence. He was placed at the exact perfect timing, and you're seeing his confidence in there, and he's done a good job. So you got to give kudos to that. You know, I like to dog on coaches, this, that, and the other, but they done a good job there. And Diggs was missing tackles. He was. Yes, one pride 40, you're 100% correct. Go to the draft for a cornerback. Okay, so if that's another route you can go. So that again is the route they many different routes. If they want to draft a lot of, defense, if they want to get a free agent's defensive line like a McCoy and get a defensive end, they can go with Jeff Okudah, cornerback from Ohio State. He's a really good corner there. He's a really good player if they want to go young there. So if that's a route they could do, I just prefer is to go Derek Brown. I like Derek Brown. I like the big boys. I like the smash mouth. I prefer a defensive draft this draft, and I want to go defensive draft and offensive line in this draft. That's what I'm going for. Maybe guard or tackle in free agency as well, yes. And our guys are banged up. Have you seen the IR? Yes, we do have a lot of banged up guys, but you got to understand, like when we look at Marvin Jones getting banged up, if we were in the playoff hunt, I'm going to assume he wouldn't be on IR. Same with Jeff Driscoll. It was a pulled hamstring. At this point, the reason you're going to throw a lot of these guys on IR is because the season's over, man. There's no point. Like, if you have an injury, there's absolutely no point to play him. I don't want to see Marvin Jones. I don't want to see Jeff Driscoll. I don't want to see none of these guys get injured. And focus now. When we got next season, it's very important to keep these guys healthy for next year. Same with Matthew Stafford. Throw him on ice, man. Just throw him on ice. There's no reason for it. I think it's funny how Quinn can draft decent players in the late rounds, but usually screws up the first round picks. Well, I could say Frank Ragnow is a great first round pick. I think he could be the best center in the NFL, at least the best five for sure. I kind of think that when it comes to our linebacker that we got, I think he's kind of just in the wrong position. I'd like to see him thrown at the end and put Tavai in the middle. I want to see how he would do. I wouldn't necessarily say he's done a bad job. It'd be a good idea for me to do and to really compare the first round talents and just the first round talents compared to other talents on other teams and how well our first round picks that Bob Quinn has done compared to other general managers in the NFL. I think that would be a really good idea to do. And just to see, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's done a real bad job. Maybe I'm right. He's done a great job, or he's just been okay. Can we dump and trade Mike Daniels? Dump him. We're not going to trade Mike Daniels. Just dump the guy. There is no reason to have him on the team. I don't want injured players on this team anymore. I think when it comes to injured players, let's just get rid of all the injured players that we have in this damn team. I'm tired of injury. The best ability is availability. And yes, that is a good excuse. We have had injured players. Let's just dump these sons of bitches, man. Let's get people up in here that are not injury prone. Just what the shit, man. We're tired of it. I'm tired of watching people on the sideline. Well, if you're the Raiders, you have 3 first-round picks. You draft will look good. Yes, that is 100% true. They took a risk, though. You got to give John Gruden credit, man. Trading Khalil Mack, trading all those damn players. He took a risk, and it paid off well. Wrong again, Frank Ragnow and Hawk will be a dog. Yeah. Frank Ragnow is definitely a really good center. And Hawkinson, you got to give him a couple years, man. You always got to give players at least 3 years, 2-3 years to see how they're going to do, for sure. But I would like to. That would be a good idea to go through to see who's in there. I think Romeo Okwara, he's got a $4 million cap hit. I think you probably could dump him. He's not doing a whole lot. Jared Davis will be interesting to see. Let's see on here. I'm trying to just go through who's got big cap hits that they could look at. Not a whole lot. We don't have a whole lot of big cap hits. I think we need to re-sign Kenny Galladay. I think that'd be a really good idea. Go ahead and re-sign Kenny Galladay. Give him a nice contract. I think that would be a smart idea. I think he's definitely earned it. Man, yeah, we got a lot of Marvin Hall. We could re-sign him as well. I think that'd be a great idea. Terrell Crosby, re-sign him to just a backup type deal. Let's see, dump all the Caldwell lovers. Look, I don't understand. Jim Caldwell was not the answer for us, but he did win. But he's not the answer. The guy was not going to take us to the playoff level that we all wanted to be at. So to me, it was right for him to get terminated and to move on from him. So let's not just assume this guy was going to bring us to the Super Bowl. But we got to give him credit. He didn't win games. But to assume he was going to take us there, I'm not going to do that. I think Davis will move to outside linebacker. Yeah, I think that's what we got to try for. Throw him on the side, see what Tavai can do in the middle. I like that. Julian Okwara, yeah, I see what you're saying. They will probably do that. Why not try? I say what you want about Caldwell, but yes, you're right. He did win. But I'm just saying that, yes, he did win, and we got to give him his dues. But at the same time, does anyone believe he was going to take us to the Super Bowl or take our team to a postseason win? I think not. But I give him credit. Let's see. Yes, re-sign Kenny Galladay. What up, Mike? Chase Young better be in Detroit or my brain may leak. The way for this to occur, folks, is we got to look at the schedule for if you want to get Chase Young, he's going to go with 2 overall. And right now the New York Giants has got to win. What is it? 2 more games out of 3 left. The odds are that happening is extremely unlikely. They damn near could have won this last Sunday, and it would have helped. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I do believe we're going to be the 3rd pick in the draft, and I think that Miami is going to win a game. I think we lose out. I think Miami is going to win a game, and I think the Redskins will win a game because their schedule is extremely favorable for them to do so. And I think we're going to miss out on Chase Young unless we decide to make a trade. And that would be going from 3 to 2. Maybe them soft boat them. The Giants can beat Miami. Yes, but they got to win 2 games. That's the thing. They got to win 2 games out of 3. I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's possible Eli's going to win out. That would be hilarious, Textile. If that hey, more power to it. Please win out. Please. I am not in the camp of losing games, but I am in the camp of the teams that are in the lower part of the draft to win games. Hell yeah, win those games, man. Help us out. Caldwell is the most winningest coach in the Super Bowl era that didn't have a team like do now, losing Terrell Austin. Defense coordinator was dumb on our part. Okay. I see your point. Let's see. Let's look at other linebackers. Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, if they wanted to go linebacker, in which I would be okay for too. I would be extremely okay with linebacker because you can use them in pass rush as well. I just want pass rush. I want defensive players to get after the quarterback. And if you can do that, I'm great with that. Cool and beat who? I think you're probably talking one of those guys. So let's look at other free agents that's you got. Justin Simmons, safety. Clinton Dix, I prefer not. I don't think we need to pick up a free agent safety in this draft. In the free agency. I think we could go safety in the draft again if they wanted to go earlier or later rounds. I prefer not. Again, I prefer getting a pass rusher. Justin Simmons, I would like that as well. I'd be okay with that. I think we could, if they want to go Simmons, I think you could trade back a couple of spots if they decide to go Simmons and pick up more draft capital. I think they could do that. It's possible, man. It's possible. But I want a game-changing pass rusher, a game-changing defensive player on this team. That's what I want. That's all I want. Let's see here. When Austin had talent, we had the number one defense 99% of the season. We also had Ndamukong Suh. We had good pass rushers, and we need to get that back on this team. We need to get pass rushers on this team, and we need to get players. And there's players in free agency. Again, Gerald McCoy. I think that would be a good 1 year stopgap. Even Ndamukong Suh, if they want to do a stopgap. There's players out there. If they want to get a guard in the draft, you can get Brandon Sheriff from Washington. He's 28 years old. I think that would be a good idea to go that route as well. Free agency. Get the big boys. Just let's upgrade the trenches. Let's make this team scary. Let's make this team a blue-collar team and fight these guys. Let's get strong. Chris Jones, defensive end, Kansas City. And a Goku, or whatever his name. I call him Goku. 4-3 defensive end from Jacksonville. Let's go. I mean, there's talent. I don't want to go offensive. I don't want to go a whole lot of offensive players. I don't want to go offense. Do you think the Giants could skip on Chase Young and go for wide receiver? No. I think that Chase Young is the first he's going to go second overall. I think the Bengals go Burrow, quarterback, and I think the New York Giants going to take Chase Young. I think that's what's going to take place. He had all the talent and only made it past the WC. He's talking to someone else. So tell me what you want. What players do you want in free agency? What players do you want in this NFL draft? What do you want to see, man? I want to see the big boys. I'm all about the big boys. I'm all about upgrading this roster with the guys in the middle. That's what I want to see. I want to see uglies. I want to see the ugly bastards in there. And put as much talent around Matt Patricia's defense as humanly possible. Pass rush and some more pass rush. I am with you 100%. That's what I want to see. I want Jesus. I'm with you. I think he could do a great job. What do you think about Josh Uck in the third or the fourth? Well, again, I haven't taken a whole lot of I haven't looked at a whole lot of players outside the first round. I think I've looked at 50 players, and predominantly those good players are going to be in the first round. A replacement for Rick Wagner. I think what this is what they're going to do here. I think what's going to take place is you're going to see Rick Wagner leave, or you're going to see Taylor Decker move to the right tackle spot if that's the case, or you see Taylor Decker leave Wagner and draft a left tackle or Terrell Crosby. I think one of those two is going to be gone though. But come up and see the screw job. I don't want to see edge. I don't want to see edge rush unless they get a couple solid hell inside guys. What team has pass rush that runs a 4-3? Oh, quite a bit of teams. And I'll tell you who's available. So in the 3-4, you got Chris Jones from Kansas City. He's 29 years old. He's a really good pass rusher. Again, this is on the idea of if they don't franchise tag and they don't extend these players, because we don't know that yet. So you got Chris Jones. He's a 3-4 guy. You got Bud Dupree. He's an outside linebacker. Same with Shaq Barrett, outside linebacker. You got Matthew Judon from the Ravens, outside linebacker. Dante Fowler Jr., outside linebacker. There's quite a bit of 3-4s if they decide to stay that route. Let's see. From Penn State is a good second rounder. Chase Young or a quarterback. Well, here's the deal. And if you're going to go quarterback, I think it would have to be a new regime, because this regime's going to want to win now. And I think they're going to do the best available defensive player to do so. I think if you get a new regime, if Bob Quinn to be fired, I think then that's an automatic. But I don't think they're going to be fired, and I don't think that Quinn's going to be gone. Adam, I don't know if what kind of cap, though. If yes, we have cap, let me explain to you again. I apologize if a lot of this stuff is simply nuance. We have a hell of a cap. We have nearly $50 million in cap right now. And Darius Slay, this is right now. You add that if we decide to trade Darius Slay, he's cap friendly. He's $13.4 million with a dead cap of nearly $3 million, 2.9. And Rick Wagner of nearly $12 million, a dead cap hit of 5.8. And Snacks Harrison, I don't think he's not going to get let go because his dead cap hits high. Taylor Decker is $10.3 million and no dead cap. So I think you're going to see one or two players, 2 or 3 of those players go. Rick Wagner, Slay, then we would. Corner upgrade would be good, yes. I think what you're going to see place is you're going to see 2 or 3 of those players go. Darius Slay, whether it be a trade, Rick Wagner or Taylor Decker, you're going to see an extension of Kenny Galladay, and you're going to have around $60 million in cap space to play with. That's what I see. $60 million in cap space is quite a bit. I think I would re-sign A'Shawn Robinson too. Not just some crazy big deal, but a good friendly deal I think would be good. All but one defensive tackle injured. What's next year's excuse? We need to pick up players who are not injury prone, and that is the number one thing. And I think getting this draft, we need to get the uglies in the middle. We need to get the big fat ugly guys in the middle that are not injury prone. Not injury prone. I repeat, not injury prone. Do not pick guys with injuries. Let A'Shawn go. When it comes to A'Shawn Robinson, I think we re-sign him to a extension that fits him. Now, if he wants some crazy amount, let him go. But if he's willing to take a decent contract, then I say re-sign him. You have ever noticed when Davis is out the game, we look a lot better? Just saying. That's because Devy is placed in the middle. I think he needs to be placed on the outside. That's my opinion. I want to see that. Yes, I do agree, Shane, with you that I think he could be used. Let's attempt to put him on the outside and see if that will help. If it doesn't, then hell, let's upgrade the position, right? Screw it. No foot fractures. Yes. No injuries. God, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for the offseason. I'm going to do a mock draft again. I'll be working on that the next couple of days for you all, because we now went from the 6th to the 5th pick, and I'm excited for this draft, man. I'm excited for free agency. I'll do like a top 5 free agents that I would like to pick that I think would fit our system. Obviously, I think that Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are going to go balls to the wall this free agency like we seen last free agency. And hopefully we get some talent on this roster and can compete. God damn it. I want to see your team do well. Get some freaking wins, man. Get some freaking wins. So whether we all agree, whether you listen to other YouTubers, you listen to myself, I made a hell of a lot of mistakes this offseason, saying that the Lions are going to go 11 wins. I completely screwed the pooch on that. absolutely screwed the pooch on that, and I ain't doing that again, man. I owe an apology to everybody that listened to me. I screwed the pooch on that. I thought we'd have pass rush, and we didn't. I thought we would have pass rush, but we didn't. And unfortunately, that's my mistake, and I got to correct my mistakes, just like our team's got to correct their mistakes. So right now, our team is a shit show, and it's a bowl of shit, and it's got to get better. And everyone's got to do better. Players got to do better. The trainers got to do better. The coaches got to do better. I have to do better by giving you opinions that is more correct than negative. And right now, I did 11-5 for the season, and I'm looking like a dumbass. And I'm definitely looking like a dumbass. So I will do my best to bring you information that I think would help our team out. And I'm going to do much better job this offseason and do the best we can, man. You can do a full mock draft. Yes, sir. TP58. Yes, and we're going to be doing that too, live mock drafts with Luke G and everyone. That's some fun stuff there. Week 4. Yeah, I did too, man. I thought we had a team too. I think that Green Bay game, that official game that we got screwed over really hurt us, man. No Daniels, no hand snacks overpaid. Look, it was a shit show. It was a mixture of a lot. It really was. I mean, you can't just say I do blame, you know me, I think that the coaching staff really screwed the pooch, but for me to say it was just the coaching staff is bullshit. Look, it was Bob Quinn, it was Matt Patricia, it was the players, it was all the players screwing up, it was the defense. It was just a shit show. When you go 3-9-1, it's a shit show from everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And myself included. I said some shit that didn't come out, and what I gave was a shit show. So I hold myself a big time account, and that's okay, man, because I own up to it. But I ain't gonna be doing that crap again. I am not gonna be saying that. I will judge each free agent much better, each NFL draft much harsher than I usually do, because damn it, I want to see our team win. That's all I want. I don't care how we win. I don't care. I know some people say, like Luke says, like, oh, you got to win and you got to win, like, beat the hell out of teams. Yeah, that's nice. I just want to win. I just want to win. I don't care. 2-3. We win 3-2. I'm happy as shit. On a good note, we got 4 or 5 cheerleaders that look good. Hell yeah. Man, we definitely got that for sure. Rory's doing a good job as well. I think the Water Boy's doing a decent job. We got a hell of a punter. He was the player of the week last week and going forward. But Sunday we got another game. The Bucks come to town. Hopefully we can get that W. And I know a lot of people want to suck for the draft. I still want to win. I don't think we're going to win, but I know I don't root for losing, man. I want to win because I hate losing, man. I hate losing. I hate it. I hate it. And it pisses me off, man. What's going on, Big Take, man? If you ain't subscribed to the DSA, one being the Big Take, do so. If you ain't subscribed to Travis, also known as Trox Sports, man, TST, go ahead, do so, man. He's old buddy of ours. And, man, I support everything that he does. He's working hard. He's grinding. He's grinding his ass off, man. And so that's all we can do, man. That's all we can do. With that said, folks, it is 4:01. My little one getting off the bus here in a minute. I'm going to want to play games, and hang out. I'm going to do so. Tonight, Luke G, I think, is going live. Be prepared for him to go live. It'll probably be like 8 o'clock. I'm going to assume he gets out of work at 7. So I know he felt awful that we could not do the roundtable last night, but he had a family emergency. Family comes first when it comes to DSA over anything, period. If, ands, or buts. DSA is all about family and pride, man, because we are one pride. Whether you agree to disagree, we're on this bitch together, embracing the suck, man. So tonight, get ready for some Luke G. If you ain't hit the like button, please do so. If you ain't subscribed to my channel, I'm sure you all are. do that as well. And expect more mock drafts. Expect, free agency. This is what my channel is going to be about for the next while, man. I think a lack of good linebackers are preventing Patricia doing some of the blitzes we did last year. Yeah, I think we're lackluster on linebackers. Yeah, you're correct, man. You're correct. Yeah, you have yourself a great one too, Travis, as well. And get ready for Luke G tonight and some of the rest of the DSA members doing their thing. So with that said, folks, I leave you with this, man. Adios.